The following Dysfunctional Gaming program was filmed in front of a live Twitch audience.
What's happening? No, stop talking. We are live. We are Dysfunctional Gaming talking D&D. I am Thundercat 0420. To my
And I'm a
right
scamp.
or left on your screen is GM Patch Nasty. He just likes to say numbers when I'm counting us down live. That's why you heard 5 and 7 in there.
Yes, the audio was live.
No, my audio goes live right when I press the button on my stream deck.
I see.
So
okay. I get you.
I pressed it as I was going live. You said 5 and came in. So, how's it going tonight?
It's going well. I'm excited to finish the player's handbook with all the classes and never ever have to say ability score increase or get a feed if your DM is cool. What's funny is playing yesterday, someone had to level up to 4 and they asked what they got, and I lost my shit. I went, "Are you kidding me? I've been talking about it for 5 weeks. 5 weeks. Ability score increase or a feat. God damn it. Sorry for all those people who got loud.
Go listen to the podcast. We play D&D together. You should be listening to this shit and supporting me." That's what I would have said. And then
you're
you guys,
a new DM and I supported you. God damn it.
and then you guys would say, "Shut the hell up, Thundercat. Stop whining." And I'd be like, "You're right.
Yep.
I'm whining."
Yeah, you're whining.
I'm a whiner.
Make me famous. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
My day off today, so let's talk some D&D.
Fucking D&D! What did we talk about last week as you sip on your Capri Sun?
Last week we did the fighter and the ranger.
Yes. One and the same thing, essentially. I mean, not really, but yes. No.
You could make an archery fighter and tend to be a ranger.
Yep. But you wouldn't have the cool cure wounds or the sweet beast companion, the dog that does nothing.
But you do get 100 feats.
Yep, 100, all the feats. You are the opposite of Goro. You have 2 hands and 6 legs.
You're a fucking millipede. Let's go into this week.
We're going into this week.
We are on episode 22. Is that right?
Deuce.
Wow,
yep.
Good for us.
Yay.
We're on episode 22. We are talking about the Paladin and the Rogue this week. We are going to be finishing the classes in the player's handbook this week, but we will be going back a lot to talk about different features and things that will arise in our later episodes. So
possibly building more encounters as a DM.
Or classes, making subclasses and doing that kind of stuff that we were talking about. That could be something we do in a couple weeks. Who knows? So let's get into it. You want to start off with the rogue?
Yeah, let's get dirty. Before we start in the light and all that god stuff, let's get sneaky and steal some stuff. We're going to talk about rogues, because rogues are cool. They're also another very easy class to get into, because it's a simple mechanic, and you will learn the term bread and butter with a rogue. If you're going to quick build a rogue, they are one of the only ones that might have another one that's where you can divvy up between your archetype. So you always want Dex to be your highest, because that's your stabbing mechanic. You want high stabs, all the high stabs, and you always want to go first. Next, if you're going to be an investigator or you're going to be an Arcane Trickster, which we'll talk about later, you want to make your intelligence your next highest score. Or if you want to talk and be interactive, you want to be charismatic. Secondly, pick the charlatan background. It makes sense for a rogue. You'll see why when we talk about backgrounds. You want to take it over with the features, or you want me to keep going?
I got it.
Hashtag high charismata.
As high charismata.
Charismatic, yep.
You start with 1d8 plus your con for hit points. So you get 8 plus your con for your hit points at first level, and then you get a d8 or 5 plus your con after that. Your hit dice is a d8, and you are proficient in light armor, simple weapons, hand crossbows, long swords, rapiers, short swords. You are proficient in thieves' tools. Your saving throws are dexterity and intelligence, and you can choose 4 skills from the following: acrobatics, athletics, deception, insight, intimidation, investigation, perception, performance, persuasion, and sleight of hand, and stealth.
Stealth is a dex-based check for those of you who haven't been paying attention. That's why you want your dex to be very high.
Also, you get for starting equipment, a rapier or a short sword, a short bow and a quiver of 20 arrows or a short sword, a burglar's pack, a dungeoneer's pack, or an explorer's pack, and leather armor, 2 daggers, and thieves' tools.
I'll tell you what, if I'm building my rogue, I'm totally going to pick athletics, deception, persuasion, and stealth for my skills. And then for my equipment, rapier, the arrow, the burglar's pack, and then I get everything else. But here's some fun stuff because I'm a level 1 character. I'm already an expert at some certain things. At level 1, you choose 2 of your skill proficiencies or 1 of your skill proficiencies, and your proficiency with thieves' tools. Your proficiency bonus is doubled for any ability check that you make that uses either one of these chosen proficiencies, which is super handy because then at first level, let's say you picked stealth. That's a +4 plus whatever your dex mod is. Evening, Fuzz. I'm doing
Fuzz.
well.
I was going to say hi, but I didn't want to interrupt Patch as he was talking.
I stopped. That's why I stopped and went, But there is another thing that you get at first level. Let's talk about Snorkatork.
Ooh, Snorkatork. Also known as Sneak Attack, which is probably one of the cooler features you get for being a rogue. I know it starts at the early level, and like it's a basic thing that every rogue gets, but it's probably still one of the cooler feats as a class. You get to, at the beginning of first level, you know how to strike subtly and exploit a foe's distraction. Once per turn, you can deal an extra 1d6 damage to one creature you hit with an attack if you have advantage on the attack roll. The attack must be used a finesse weapon or a rage weapon. You don't need advantage on the attack roll if another enemy of the target is within 5 feet of that enemy and is incapacitated, and you don't have a disadvantage on the attack roll. So basically, if your fighter friend is up against this enemy that you're fighting, and you're 15 feet away, and you want to shoot your short bow at it, you get sneak attack if you hit. The amount of damage increases as you gain levels in this class, as shown on the sneak attack column in the rogues table.
I will go to So first level is 1d6. It goes up every odd level. So at 3rd level, it's 2d6. At 5th level, it's 3d6. At 7th, it's 4. 9th, it's 5th. 11th, it's 66 worth of damage. 13th, it's 76. To put this in perspective for all the caster people, at 15th level, the sneak attack damage is equal to a fireball. At 17th, it's 9d6, and at 19th, it's 10d6. That is crazy. Crazy.
Other features in the subclasses also might give you extra chances to do more sneak attack prompts, like the one in the Sword Coast, the Swashbuckler, is like you don't need someone within 5 feet of it if you're having it's kind of like funny, like how you can get another advantage to it for sneak attack because of
Honestly,
Swashbuckler.
one of the ones that's in the handbook is very mean.
Yes, but
Yeah.
and we're not even going to the Sword Coast book because that's a different book. We're doing just the PHP, but like each subclass gives you something different for your sneak attack. I'm pretty sure.
All right. For those of you who did not listen to our Druids episode, similar to the Druids,
Very similar.
the thieves, our rogues get their own language they know. It is called Thieves' Cant. During your rogue training, you learn Thieves' Cant, a secret mix of dialect, jargon, and code that allows you to hide messages in seemingly normal conversation. So, for those of you who have seen Ocean's 11, the scene with Matt Damon, Brad Pitt, and George Clooney when they're talking about absolute nonsense, that. In addition, you understand a set of secret signs and symbols to use to convey short, simple messages, sort as whether an area is dangerous or the territory of a thieves' guild, whether loot is nearby, or whether the people in the area are easy marks or will provide a safe house for thieves on the ground. That's very handy for DMs who like to add things into their games and write things into, to put it in an easy perspective, stroke a player's ego. That's a way to make a character look like a hero, and every
Or
DM should do it.
it's great. It's great if you want to bring something into the game that you didn't really have as a DM a way to get into that game. You can kind of say, "Hey, you know, thieves can't write," to your rogue, and they'll say, "Yeah, I do," and you go, "Okay, well, you see some sort of logo that looks like some thieves can't. You want to inspect it?" And they can go over and you can teach them something that they were looking for, or have them move on the story from where you want from A to B and get them to B finally. There's a lot of things you can do with that, and same thing with the
Easy way to
druidic.
give loot. Hi, TSO.
Hello, TSO. Hearts to you too, buddy. Second level,
Another part of that bread and butter.
cunning action. Starting at second level, your quick thinking and agility allow you to move and act quickly. You can take a bonus action on each of your turns in combat. This action can be used only to take the dash, disengage, or hide action. So,
Awesome.
What you would do is you would bonus action hide behind the large rock, pull out your crossbow, roll your stealth, and hope that your stealth is better than the perception of the enemy. Get the hide. Oh, thank you, Fuzzrab.
Thank you, Fuzz. Goddamn fucking subscribe.
Dude, what the fuck are you doing?
Nightmares.
Dude, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing, Fuzzrab? So yeah, you'd get to hide behind that rock. Hopefully, you roll better a stealth than their perception of the enemy, and then you would use your action. Oh,
Nope.
TSO.
With the 4 months.
Dude, what the fuck are you doing?
What the fuck are you doing,
doing?
TSO? So yeah, you would then use your every time I do something, I break something on stream. You would use your action to shoot your short bow, and you would have advantage because you were hidden. If you hit with advantage, you get your sneak attack damage. So it's a whole process. I know it's mechanical, but the whole process to really increase your rogue abilities.
Yeah, when it comes also down to the action economy, being able to dash, disengage, or hide as a bonus action makes things very, very, very clutch. Because if things get in your face, you can bonus action disengage, use your action to dash away, and then or use your movement to get away, and then use your action to throw a dagger.
Yeah, exactly.
It's yep.
Or if you get too close to the fight, disengage. And use your action to run or whatever. TSO, thank you for the 4 months. Fuzzrab, thank you for the 5 months. You guys are incredible, and that's what makes us want to come back and do this every time. We really.
Yeah. Are you the whole hand?
Just
there. That's the thing. A little
Did I do it? Did I do it right?
Yep. I don't know. But now we're gonna get into the fun stuff because this is where your rogue begins to become your rogue. We are going into the archetypes at 3rd level because that's all they get at 3rd level. If you don't think it's a lot, fuck you. The first one you can pick from in the player's handbook on page 97 is the thief. So basically, you like to steal things. You hone your skills in larcenous arts. Burglars, bandits, cut purses, and other criminals typically follow this archetype, but so do rogues who prefer to think of themselves as professional treasure seekers, explorers, delvers, and investigators. So, starting at 3rd level, you can use the bonus action granted by your cunning action to make a dexterity sleight of hand check. Use your thieves' tools to disarm a trap or open a lock, or take the use an object action. So, that makes things very, very interesting. Because then
There's
you
your
bump
there's your fast drinker.
Yep, there's your fast drinker right there. Open it up, and here's the Dorito.
Open it up, and here's a nacho chip.
That's a Dorito. I could say that. Doritos chip.
The nacho chip.
It's Dorito. It says Dorito. Dorito. Anyway, that's what you get at 3rd level for the thief. But here's Thundercat. Would you like to explain the tank build for the rogue?
The assassin. You focus your training on the grim art of death. Those who adhere to this archetype are diverse, hired killers, spies, bounty hunters, and even specially anointed priests trained to exterminate the enemies of their deity. Stealth, poison, and disguise help you eliminate your foes with deadly efficiency. Bonus proficiency. When you choose this archetype at 3rd level, you gain proficiency with the disguise kit and the poisoner's kit, which is just dirty. And then you also get assassinate. You are the deadliest when you get the drop on your enemies. You have advantage on attack rolls against any creature that hasn't taken a turn in combat yet. In addition, any hit you score against that creature that is surprised is a critical hit. So that will add on top of your sneak attack. Like, good luck, you have advantage now on any time that they haven't acted in the first round, basically.
And if you have the drop on them, then it's a crit. So that's double your D8 for taking the rapier. And then at 3rd level, it would be 4d6. So 2d8, 4d6 plus, let's just say, I don't know, 4 on the dex die. Because we're naturally dexy. That's mean. But here we go. We're gonna get magical. Fuck me running. We're into spellcasting, and I called it again.
Here's the church. Here's the steeple. Open it up, and here's Dorito. You have to say it like that.
At me.
You have to say it like that. Dorito.
So when you hit 3rd level and you want to be an arcane trickster, you get magic. You gain the ability to cast spells. Once again, chapter 10 for general rules, 11 for the wizard spell list. Your cantrips, you know 3, but one of them is Mage Hand, and then 2 of them are other cantrips from the wizard spell list. You learn another one at 10th level. Spell slots, there's a little chart. Go ahead, take a look at it. You'll get there. When you regain all your expended spell slots when you finish a long rest. When it comes to spells known, that's where it starts to get kind of interesting. You know 3 first levels wizard spells of your choice, 2 of which you must choose from the enchantment and illusion spells on the wizard spell list. They lock you into certain schools of magic, so you'll start to learn your spells at that point if you ever want to branch into a full-on wizard. The spells known column on the Arcane Trickster spellcasting table knows when you learn more wizard spells of 1st or high level. Each of these spells must be an enchantment or illusion spell of your choice, and must be a level for which you have spell slots. For instance, when you hit 7th level in the class, you can learn 1 new spell of 1st or 2nd level. That's when you would get your 2nd spells at 7th. The spells you learn at 8th, 14th, and 20th level can be from any school of magic. So 8th, you would have 2nd level spells. 14th, you would have 3rd level spells. And 20th, you would have 4th level spells. So that would be when you would probably want to take your Dimension Door if it's not enchantment or illusion. Whenever you gain a level in this class, you can replace your wizard spells, known with a spell of your choice from the wizard spell list. The new spell must be of a level for which you have spell slots, and it must be an enchantment or illusion spell, unless you're replacing the spell you regained at 8th, 14th, or 20th level. That's another thing to remember when you gained those spells, but they'll also not be marked with an E for enchantment or I for illusion. Arcane Tricksters are mini wizards. It's intelligence. Your DC is 8 plus your proficiency plus your intelligence modifier. Spell attack modifier is proficiency plus your intelligence modifier. Here's the cool thing. Since you are a magical thief, you have Mage Hand Ledgermane. Starting at 3rd level, when you cast Mage Hand, you can make the spectral hand fucking invisible, and you can perform the additional attacks with it. You can stow one object the hand is holding in a container worn or carried by another creature. You can retrieve an object in a container worn or carried by another creature. You can use these tools to pick locks and disarm traps at range. You can perform one of these tasks without being noticed by a creature if you succeed on a dexterity, sleight of hand check, contested by the creature's wisdom perception check. In addition, you can use the bonus action granted by your cunning action to control the
sick.
hand.
So good.
So yeah, that's one of those spells where in combat or like going through a guard post, putting contraband on the guard and then pickpocketing it off the guard on the way out. It's very risky. You're a high risk, high reward type of player. I tip my cap to you, sir or madam, and God bless your arcane trickster ways. But
Do it.
that's what you get at 3rd level. If you haven't been paying attention for 5 weeks, we are at 4th level.
We're going to come to your house.
And we're gonna take one of your feet. We are 2 seasoned DMs. We will take the feet. We give it and we take it. We're taking the feet.
We'll use a bear trap to take it.
Yes. Your leg. It's caught in a bear trap.
Your feet is mine.
Anyway, level 4, ability score increase, or you get a feat. If you haven't been paying attention for 5 weeks, you can put 1 stat up by +2 or 2 stats up by +1. We've covered that. It's done. Never again until we hit level 8. We're level 5. We don't get an extra attack, Thundercat. What do we get, though?
We got uncanny
cool,
dodge,
right?
uncanny dodge. At 5th level, when an attacker that you can see hits you with an attack, you can use your reaction to half the damage against you.
That's the thing that Vandal screwed you with, right?
No, it was evasion.
It was evasion. Okay, so we'll get there.
7th level.
So yes, that helps. That helps.
Uncanny dodge helps you a lot, but evasion is what screws you as a DM.
Yes. So we are at 6th level?
Yep. Roguish
You get
archetype,
things?
I think.
Oh yeah, you
6th
get
level.
expertise
No,
again.
expertise.
You get expertise.
Yes.
Yep. So you put up 2 of your skill proficiencies or 1 in your thieves tools. Your thieves tools honestly should have been one of your first things. And if you're like me at level 6, you're a fast talker, so the persuasion gets talked up again, and then maybe the deception. Those are the 2 that I would put up at that point. Now what do we get at 7? The thing that Vandal screwed Thundercat over with.
Evasion. You can nimbly dodge out of the way of certain area effects, such as a red dragon's fiery breath, or its other breath, or its other breath, or a lightning bolt, or
Lightning bolt. All the dex saves.
or a fireball, or ice storm spell. When you're subjected to an effect that allows you to make a dexterity saving throw, you take only half the damage. You instead take no damage if you succeed on the saving throw, and only half damage if you fail. So
Perfect.
Make your dexterity real high. You'll never fail, and if you never fail, you never take damage.
Haha, red dragon who does 96 points of fire damage when you breathe at me. I take 0, and I laugh in your face.
I failed 1 time out of the 15 times that you've tried this. I will only take 44 damage. You suck.
So at level 8, we're going to Fuzzrab's house, and we're taking his feet because he's got a wheelie chair.
Yep. I'm taking that other feet.
Yeah, we're taking that feet.
But I'd actually probably take an ability score increase because, I don't know.
Yeah, at this point, level 8. Yeah.
Yeah,
Unless
still
I'm
early.
very, very squishy and I'm the tank, I'd
Yeah.
probably go tough. Anyway,
Yeah.
level 9. We get stuff from
9?
our stuff.
Hi.
So the thief. We are still, well, we are sneaky. We are super sneaky. We are supreme sneak. All the sneak, much sneak. Wow. Starting at 9th level, you have advantage on dexterity, stealth checks if you move no more than half your speed on the same turn.
Wow.
So if you go 15 feet, I have advantage on that stealth check. So at that point, I'm all the sneak. Much wow. Okay.
For the assassin, you get infiltration expertise. You can
This is so cool.
unfailingly create false identities for yourself. You must spend 7 days and 25 gold pieces to establish the history, profession, and affiliations for an identity. You can't establish an identity that belongs to someone else. For example, you might acquire appropriate clothing, letters of introduction, and official-looking certification to establish yourself as a member of a trading house from a remote city so you can insinuate yourself into the company of other wealthy merchants. Thereafter, if you adopt the new identity as a disguise, other creatures believe you to be that person until given an obvious reason not to. That's so cool.
We're level 9 as a magic rogue. We get
The issue is like spending 7 days in one spot in D&D.
and 25 gold. Yeah.
Well, 25 gold is
gold's
easy
easy.
to come to at level 9. You probably have 25 gold pieces. But
to be, I'll be honest
7
with
days
you,
in one spot is tough.
If you have an assassin who you know can murk people real quick, you would want to plan out, like, you would want to scope, you would want to, like, have, like, Ocean's 11 type sessions, which I think was dope. I would be the distraction. That is my role. Magical rogue. We get magical ambushing. Woo! Starting at 9th level, if I'm hidden from a dude, when I cast a spell on it, the creature has disadvantage on any saving throw it makes against the spell this turn. Hoo-hoo. You're my buddy. What?
Doesn't help. It doesn't help on your... You don't get sneak attack damage, though.
Nope, it doesn't, but guess what? I now have a friend who's going to protect me. He
That's
protect,
true.
and then I attack. Level 10.
Ability score improvement or feats.
Yep.
Here comes the mini fighter.
Yeah, boy, the reliable talent at level 11. What does that do?
I'm sorry, I was reading the table and looking at all the increasing ability score improvements that are coming up.
Yep.
Reliable talent at 11th level. You are refined. You have refined your chosen skills until they approach perfection. Whenever you make an ability check that lets you add your proficiency bonus, you can treat a d20 roll of 9 or lower as a 10. So if you are proficient in deception and your DM wants you to roll a deception check, you roll a 2 on the dice and you add your 7 and it only comes to 9, you get a 10 on the dice and you get to add your 7, so it becomes a 17.
Yep. But at this point, also, all the skills that you're proficient with, probably 3 of them are at least double proficiency when you make a check with them, which is silly. So I'm looking at the proficiency bonus at, where are we, 11th level? Plus 4?
Yeah.
So that's a plus 8.
So it's at least, so if you'd have to roll a 1 basically for it to be a 9.
No,
that's what I'm saying. If you roll a 1, and you'd have to roll a natural 1 for it to be a 9 or lower. So you would get a 10 plus 8. So it'd be 18 all the time.
Yep.
My deception is always 18. It doesn't go any lower than that.
That's crazy. All right. Level 12. What do we get? We said it before. We'll say it again. We get more feet. All feats.
Feats or ability score improvement.
Yup.
13th. Roguish Archetype.
All right. You're on the... You get to be sneaky and steely. Do it.
Want me to go?
Thief. I do.
You have learned enough about workings of magic that you can improvise the use of items even when they are not intended for you. You ignore all class, race, and level requirements on the use of magic items.
What? So my rogue can wear the robes of the Archmagi, is what you're saying?
Yes.
That's okay. All right, I'll bite. Level 13. That's cool. Assassin, you get imposter, which is fun. You gain the ability to unerringly mimic another person's speech, writing, and behavior. You must spend at least 3 hours studying these 3 components of a person's behavior, listening to speech, examining handwriting, and observing mannerisms. Your ruse is indiscernible to the casual observer. If a wary creature suspects something is amiss, you have advantage on any deception check you make to avoid detection.
And it's always at least an 18.
always at least an 18.
And then it would be a 19 because the next ability check I would just make sure my charisma was at 5 now. Yep.
That's mean. All right, magic boy. Let's get some magic, boy.
Boy, you getting magic? You get Versatile Trickster. Versatile Trickster, you gain the ability to distract targets with your Mage Hand. As a bonus action on your turn, you can designate a creature within 5 feet of the spectral hand created by the spell. Doing so gives you advantage on attack rolls against the creature until the end of the turn. So your hand's like, hey, look at me. I'm over here. Hey, I'm over here. I'm over here. And then you come up and stab him because he's not paying attention.
I'm thinking about it like this, like you're a rogue bully who just uses his magic, and you have an invisible mage hand that wedges people.
I was thinking like you walk up behind him and like flip his helmet up over his head, like haha, gotcha.
Give him a little pig belly.
I can't see.
What? Stab.
Wet willies.
Oh, we're at 14 now, right?
Yeah.
Oh boy, this is when robes and rogues get crazy. You get blind sense. At 14, you're if you're able to hear, you're aware of the location of any hidden or invisible creature within 10 feet of you. You become Daredevil. Yep, you are a Daredevil. You hear heartbeat stuff.
You hear like the little snap of like the grain under their feet.
Mm-hmm.
At 15th level, you get Slippery Mind. Slippery Mind, you have acquired greater mental strength. You gain proficiency in wisdom saving throws. You are becoming like totally dirty. Like it's like rogues are nasty.
I love rogues, bro. All right, 16. Do we get things that? Oh no.
You get ability score increase or feats.
Yep.
Oh, Mage Hand Wedgie sounds painful. Mage Hand Wedgie.
Hurts. All right, level 17. Last things for our archetypes. This is when your rogue becomes the meanest of means. The meanest of means thieves. You get Thieves' Reflexes. When you reach 17th level, you become adept at laying ambushes and quickly escaping danger. You can take 2 turns during the first round of any combat. You take your first turn at your normal initiative, and your second turn at your initiative -10. You can't use this feature when you are surprised. I get 2 turns? Yo. Dip and snap.
The assassin gets Death Strike. You become a master of instant death. When you attack and hit a creature that is surprised, it must make a Constitution saving throw. DC 8 plus your dexterity modifier plus your proficiency bonus, which at that point would be like 19.
At least a +5 from the dex. That's what I'm saying. So dex +6 is 11, +8 is 19.
Yep. On a failed save, double the damage of your attack against the creature. So if you hit a crit, you double the damage, and then because if that happened too, you would double the damage. So it would be holy shit.
So
plus sneak attack.
Put it this way. So you would roll your 2d8 because it's a critical hit because it's surprised.
And you're using a rapier.
And you're using a rapier.
Yes.
So that's 2d8 right there. You would then roll. Jesus fucking Christ. We're at 17th. 18d6. Surmise what that total is. Double it. Oh no, I'm sorry. Surmise what that total is. Put the +4 or the +5 at this point, and then double it. That's how I would do it personally to keep things relatively.
Yeah, because
easy,
it's double the
that's how we
damage. So you would do all the damage, add it all up, even the +5 from your dexterity.
Mhm.
All of that would add up, and then you would double that damage. So it would be like
Hold on, I'm gonna.
ridiculous.
You keep
How you
talking. Hold on. Roll 2d8 plus how many day? 18 plus
18
18
d6
18d6
plus 5.
plus 5. Well, fuck you. Fuck. Why won't you just do it? So the 2d8. Let's start rolling. 2d8. We got. Oh, fuck me. We got a 16. On our 12d6, we got.
It was more than 12.
40.
It was 18.
I know. I'm doing it differently because don't have the buttons for it.
Oh.
So 16 plus 47 is 63.
63 plus another
18.
6. 66.
Hold on. Which so what was it?
47.
63
63, yep.
plus 24, which is
87.
87 plus 5 is 92.
92 doubled is 184.
184 damage.
If you crit.
Oh,
that's if you crit, but still, like.
Well, here the thing is,
wow.
Is when you crit, if it's surprised and you hit it, you crit because.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's right.
Holy crap! Hi, Vandal. Yeah, 184 damage on a lethal strike if it fails the con save, and you crit and rolled a shit ton of damage. That's insane.
And the DC is plus 19, so that's a hard DC.
19. Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Okay, let's get magic. Let's see what we get at last level.
Jesus.
Ooh. So it's called Spell Thief. I already like it. So at 17th level, you gain the ability to magically steal the knowledge of how to cast a spell from another spellcaster.
That's so cool.
Oh boy. Immediately after a creature casts a spell that targets you or includes you in its area of effect, you can use your reaction to force the creature to make a saving throw with its spellcasting ability modifier. Okay. The DC equals your spell save DC. That might not be good. On a failed save, you negate the spell's effect against you. Cool. And you steal the knowledge of the spell if it's at least first level or a level you can cast. Doesn't need to be a wizard spell. Even better. For the next 8 hours, you know the spell and can cast it using your spell slots. The creature can't cast... Oh, hold on. This isn't a big one. The creature can't cast that spell until the 8 hours have passed.
You stole it from them. They don't have the knowledge anymore. That's to cast it.
Oh, you robbed it from them. Literally went up in their brain space and robbed them of their hellish rebuke that they decided to cast on me because I stabbed him and did 184
damage. Look, here's 13 damage of fire. Nope.
Nope.
And now you can't cast it again.
Here's a bunch for you. But once you do use that, you have to wait a full rest to use it again. Holy crap. That's kind of cool. But now we're level 18. We're elusive. What's that all about?
You are so evasive that attackers rarely gain the upper hand against you. No attack roll has advantage against you while you are incapacitated. So you can never have advantage on you.
Mean. I don't even want to talk about what we get at level 19. You get that
level 19 is ability score.
Everybody gets one. Everybody gets a bunch of them, but everybody gets it. We're at level 20. We have maxed out. We have gone the full tier for Rogue, and now we get a stroke of luck. You have an uncanny knack for succeeding when you need to. If your attack misses a target within range, you can turn the miss into a hit. Alternatively, if you fail an ability check, you can treat the d20 roll as a 20. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest. So that's kind of mean. So yeah, I missed the drop on my assassinate. I'm level 20, so no, I didn't. That's a crit. Could you make a con save for me? You failed. Okay, you took a bunch of damage, 184 points of it, just to be exact.
That's crazy.
Done. Yup. Mean. Absolutely mean.
Hold on, guys. Wait. You guys wait right here. Let me sneak up there. I'm going to just stab him real quick. It's going to be over. We're not going to have to worry about the big bad. We'll just take him out real quick. And the whole team's like, what are you talking about? This is
He
the
rolls
big
a
bad
1 on
guy.
his- I just see it now. You roll a 1 on your reliable. You roll a 1 on your stealth check, and you're like, no, I rolled a 10. Doesn't matter what I rolled. I rolled a 10.
Yeah.
So that's an 18.
No, it's more than that
okay.
now. At level 20, it's more than that now. You got a
It's
plus
crazy.
6. It's 21 now, I think, or it's at least 20. It's at least a 20.
Yeah, it's at least 20. At least let's just say it's at least 22. You sneak up on him. You miss the attack. And you're like, no, I didn't.
I hit that. I surprise him.
Yep.
He's
That's
dead.
Con save, please. Yep,
There's 200
all done,
damage.
one
There's 200
Done.
damage.
Done. But yeah, that's a mean one wombo combo. But the issue is the trade-off is you're very, very squishy and you don't have the ability to wear heavier. So you don't want to get up in things' faces. And when things do, it's gonna hurt.
But
Unless you've
after I
have the ability
stabbed him, I've bonus action and I run away from him.
I bonus action disengage and I'm out. I'm out.
So if he doesn't die because of 200 damage, I'm at least 60 feet away from him. But if he does, but anytime he does try to hit me, I'm elusive and I just dance around all the hits because he has disadvantage on every attack.
Mm-hmm. Well, he doesn't have advantage.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Oh, we've got one more. We're almost done. Almost done with our classes. Yeah, your character is omnipotent, Fuzz.
Yep.
Rogues at high level are. Yeah, no, I didn't do that. I did this. That's what happened. Pass without a trace on a rogue at like high level. Pass without a trace on a rogue is just mean because it's a +10 to your any stealth check, and they don't make footprints. So druid rogue combo mean.
Okay, I'm going to. We're going to go to break. I need to use the restroom.
The lavatories.
We have our MILF video up and running, so we'll be right back after this. Hey, we're back. Welcome back.
Yes, we are.
We are going to be getting into the Paladin now. We thank you for hanging out during that break. So, a Paladin, the righteous. Justice.
The boring. Sorry.
To stand with the
I've never played a
good.
Paladin.
They're fun, I think. It depends. I mean, I think every class has its
Weaknesses and
fun.
strengths.
Yeah, and that's the whole point of the game.
Exactly.
It's a mix of everything. Good versus evil. Good versus good. Evil versus evil. Everything's in there. Those possibilities are endless. It's all about
Nation.
you. What you want to do with it.
Hi, Vandal. Yes, they do, from what I've heard. Smacky.
So,
Smacky.
they talk about being righteous and good, but that's not necessarily the way you need to go. Depending on what you want to do as a character, your DM can help you out with that as well. They train for their gods, doing anything they can that helps get their message across, basically. A lot of them are part of guilds that all strive for the same idea.
Quan Chi is a paladin, if I remember correctly. Or Quan Yu?
Yeah,
the character in the
Quan,
story. Yep.
yes, Quan Chang, I think his name is.
I was thinking Quan Chi because Mortal Kombat.
The life of a paladin is an adventuring life unless a lasting injury has taken him or her away from the adventuring for a time. Every paladin lives on the front lines of the cosmic struggle against evil. Fighters are rare enough among the ranks of the militias and armies of the world, but even fewer people can claim the true calling of a paladin. When they do receive the call, these warriors turn from their former occupations and take up arms to fight evil. Sometimes their oath leads them into the service of the crown as leaders of elite groups of knights, but even then, their loyalty is first to the cause of righteousness, not to the crown and country. Yes, they are a thing. In the Dungeon Master's Guide. Oathbreakers are in the Dungeon Master Guide. But sometimes, depending on the DM, an Oathbreaker might be taken. The Oathbreaker might take the sheet from the Paladin and turn them into the Oathbreaker, and then run them as an evil character part of their campaign.
You could also
at that point.
You could do the inverse too.
Yeah,
have
you could be
character
become a good character.
Paladin who's
maybe atones for what they want to do.
Exactly.
They're on
There's
a quest.
lot of questions in here.
They're on a quest. They really just want you, like, a paladin is really just trying to get that righteousness of what they have in their mind across. Oathbreakers and fallen still have their quest in their head, but it might just be an evil one. That's where a lot of, like, wizards go to, and they become evil wizards because they have this idea of what's perfect to them, and their ideas don't work with the society. So paladins become evil because they have that quest that they think is righteous, but it's actually could be against the constructs of the game, or not the game, but the world. Quick build. Strength should be your highest ability score, followed by charisma. Second, choose the noble background.
All right. When you are a paladin, you get a beefy die. You get 1d10 plus your paladin level, 1d10 at first level. You get 10 plus your con mod at first level. We've covered this before. 1d10 or 6 plus your con mod for every paladin level thereafter. Proficiencies. You can wear everything. You can wear all the armor, all the shields. What weapons can you use? All of them. You can use simple weapons and martial weapons. You don't use tools. You're not a tools person. You're proficient in wisdom and charisma saving throws. And then you get to pick from 2 skills, which are either athletics, insight, intimidation, medicine, persuasion, and religion. And then starting, you would either get A, a martial weapon and a shield, or B, 2 martial weapons, 5 javelins, or any simple melee weapon, a priest pack or an explorer's pack. And then every paladin gets Paladin Stuff 101, chainmail, and a holy symbol.
That's it. That's right. At first level,
Sir Thundercat. What do you get, Sir Thundercat?
you get your divine sense. The presence of evil registers on your senses like a noxious odor, and the powerful good rings like heavenly music in your ears. As an action, you can open your awareness to detect such forces. Until the end of your next turn, you know the location of any celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet of you that is not behind total cover. You know the type. You know the type of the being whose presence you sense, but not its identity. Within the same radius,
it's a celestial, fiend, or undead, but you don't know what it is.
Yes.
Hi, Gilded.
Yes, hi, Gilded.
Sorry to interrupt, but I wanted to make sure that was clarified.
Yes. Within the same radius, you can also detect the presence of any place or object that has been consecrated or desecrated, as with the Hallow spell. You can use this feature a number of times equal to 1 plus your charisma modifier. When you finish a long rest, you regain all the expended use.
Nice. All the coolness. All right. Another paladin. I like to call these ditch efforts. These are it's a bread and butter for paladin, kinda. Lay on hands. You get this at level 1. Your blessed touch can heal wounds. You have a pool of healing power that replenishes when you take a long rest. With that pool, you can restore a total number of hit points equal to your paladin level times 5. So at level 1, you have 5 in that pool, and so on and so forth, capping out at 100 at level 20. As an action, you can touch a creature and draw power from the pool to restore a number of hit points to the creature up to a maximum amount remaining in the pool. Alternatively, you can spend 5 hit points from your pool to cure the target of 1 disease or neutralize a poison affecting it. You can cure multiple diseases and neutralize multiple poisons with a single use of Lay on Hands, expending hit points separately for each one. So if it's diseased and poisoned, that is 10 HP points that you would need
Right.
to spend. The feature has no effect on the undead or construct, so you cannot heal golems, and you probably don't want to heal a zombie. But I get it. Your necromancer doesn't want to find another bag of bones.
I think it'd be cool if you could. I know it's not part of the mechanics, but like you could try to put like a lay on hands on a zombie to hurt it.
I think that'd be cool. I've always wanted to use cure wounds like alternatively, but the issue I have with that is cure wound. It's
made
for that.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not radiant damage. It's not a damage spell. It's a healing spell. So you're not really.
Yeah.
You can't. There's no damage effect to it, so it doesn't work that way. But
mechanics at that point, I'm like, well, you should.
We could possibly make a subclass for a paladin where your lay on hands can be used against enemies. You do radiant damage by using your spell pool or something. Your lay on hands. Isn't that already
one? The Oath of Treachery.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's not in the book, but I know that's one because you can. Yeah, it's the Oath of Treachery because
that's cool.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it in a second. Well, that's my lore and past experiences with it.
Okay,
we're on level 2.
Well, I just thought of it and I was like, that would be cool. I didn't know they had that one. Level 2, you get your fighting style.
Nice.
Like a fighter or a ranger. You can get a fighting style. You get to choose one of the following at level 2. Defense, you get a +1 bonus to AC if you are wearing armor, which you should be.
Take it.
Yep. You can pick dueling. You are wielding a melee weapon in one hand and no other weapons. You can gain a +2 bonus to damage rolls. You can do great weapon fighting. When you roll a 1 or 2 damage die for an attack you make with a melee weapon that you are wielding with 2 hands, you can re-roll the die and must use the new roll. The weapon must have 2-handed or versatile property for you to gain this benefit. And then protection. When a creature you can see attacks a target other than you that is within 5 feet of you, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack roll, but you must be wielding a shield.
Son of a bitch. All right. You're also level 2. You can cast spells. You can cast spells now. All right.
What? Son of a bitch, what? What happened? Tell me.
That's what... Because I'm getting the spellcasting part again. I was like,
oh. I've done this each time. Always get the spellcast. It's true.
Chapter 10 for rules on how to cast spells. Chapter 11 for paladin spells. Paladins work similar to druids and clerics. You know all the spells. You can prepare as many as your charisma modifier plus half your level, rounded down, minimum of 1 spell. So at level 1, you can still prepare the 1 spell plus your charisma modifier. The spells must be for a level each you can cast. So if you're 5th level and you have 4 first and 2 second level spell slots with a charisma of 14, your list of prepared spells can include 4 to any combinations. If you're a paladin, you're really not going to be too concerned on, like, you're probably going to have cure wounds and like a smite, but you're not going to be too concerned on what you have prepared.
I didn't use any of the spells mostly.
Yeah.
I used a lot of like buff spells rather than like DC spell, like attack spells, so.
But take a peek at it. It's right there on page 84. You're charismatic. You're charisma spellcaster. You are like a bard. Your spell save DC is 8 plus your proficiency plus your charisma modifier, and your spell attack is your proficiency plus your charisma modifier. If you're a paladin, I would suggest using your spellcasting focus, which would be your holy symbol. It puts a cool little theme to it, and then it gets you more in tune with being a more religious caster. But other than spellcasting, what can you use your spell slots for, Thundercat, if you are a paladin?
Divine Smite. When you hit a creature with a melee weapon attack, you can expend 1 spell slot to deal radiant damage to the target. In addition to the weapon's damage, The extra damage is 2d8 for a first level spell slot, plus 1d8 for each spell level higher than first, to a maximum of 5d8. The damage increases by 1d8 if the target is an undead or fiend.
That's mean. So if you are using, I don't know, let's say a Warhammer, which is a D8, and you hit and you crit on something, you have to declare it after you hit something. So I would like to smite it. That is 4d8 for the smite damage, and then an extra d8 for the Warhammer damage. So you do 68 at first level. That's
Yep.
kind of brutal if you crit.
Or 78 if it's a undead or and fiend.
That zombie is definitely dead.
Yep.
Definitely dead. Third level. We get something before our oath, which is kind of neat. It's called
Divine
Divine Health. Yeah. The divine magic flowing through you makes you immune to disease. That's kind of clutch at third level.
Yep.
That's how you didn't die in the goddamn jungle. Son of
Yep.
a bitch.
You poisoned me, but I was like, no, I'm not poisoned anymore. Lay on hands. And then you were
Yep.
like, oh, you roll a
Disease.
constitution
Yep.
check. You're diseased. I was like, no, I'm immune to disease. You're like, wait a minute, what? Third level.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're a paladin. Neat. All right. We're at third level. We're also getting our oath. This is your subclass. This is long. Very long. Thundercat, you're up.
You get oath spells. You also get a channel divinity.
Similar to the
Channel
cleric.
divinity, same as the cleric that we talked about, which is in each of the third level sacred oaths, and the spells like the other level, like cleric as well. You get spells for each level that you are in that oath. So starting with
Devotion.
Oath of Devotion. The Oath of Devotion binds a paladin to the loftiest ideals of justice, virtue, and order. So you get some tenets of devotion, which are honesty, courage, compassion, honor, and duty. You get oath spells, which are at third level. You get protection from evil and good, and sanctuary as spells that are constantly prepared and don't count against your list of prepared spells. And your channel divinity at this level, you get sacred weapon. As an action, you can imbue one weapon that you are holding with positive energy using your channel divinity. For 1 minute, you add your charisma modifier to attack rolls made with this weapon. The weapon also emits bright light in a 20-foot radius and dim light 20 feet beyond that. If the weapon is not already magical, it becomes magical for the duration. You can end the effect on your turn as part of any other action if you are no longer holding or carrying this weapon, or if you fall unconscious, the effect ends. You also get Turn the Unholy as a channel divinity at third level. As an action, you present your holy symbol and speak a prayer censuring fiends and undead. Using your channel divinity, each fiend or undead that you can see or hear within 30 feet of you must make a wisdom saving throw. If the creature fails the saving throw, it is turned for 1 minute or until it takes damage. A turned creature must spend its turns trying to move as far away from you as it can, and it can't willingly move to a space within 30 feet of you. It also can't take any reaction. For its action, it can only use the dash action or try to escape from an effect that prevents it from moving. If there's nowhere to move, the creature can use the dodge action.
That's kind of neat.
Before you go on, there is a little blurb in here about breaking your oath, the Fuzzrab. So, a paladin tries to hold the highest standards of conduct, but even the most virtuous paladin is fallible. Sometimes the right path proves too demanding, sometimes a situation calls for the lesser of two evils, and sometimes the heat of emotion causes the paladin to transgress his or her oath. A paladin who has broken a vow typically seeks absolution from a cleric who shares his or her faith, or from another paladin of the same order. The paladin might spend an all-night vigil in prayer as a sign of penitence, or undertake a fast or similar act of self-denial. After a rite of confession and forgiveness, the paladin starts fresh. The paladin willfully violates his or her own oath and shows no sign of penitence. The consequences can be more serious. At the DM's discretion, an impotent paladin. Impotent.
Yep.
Paladin might be forced to abandon this class and adopt another, or perhaps take the Oathbreaker's Paladin option that appears in the DM's guide.
It's kind of neat. They make one similar to it in Xanathar's, and that's where me and Griff got the idea for the Chaos Paladin, who is the Paladin of Zaphod, who turned out to be the God of Chaos, which was fucking hilarious. But going from one of my characters to my favorite character that I've ever DM'd for happened to be one of these type of paladins, the Oath of the Ancients. These are paladins who are as old as the race of elves and rituals of the druids. Typically Fey Knights, Green Knights, Horn Knights, paladins who swear this oath cast a lot with their side of the light and the cosmic scramble against darkness because they love beautiful and life-giving things of the world. Not necessarily because they believe in the principles, but some of the tenets: kindle the light, shelter the light. My favorite: preserve your own light. Delight in song and laughter and beauty and art. If you allow the light to die in your own heart, you can't preserve it in the world. That is probably, reading that was probably my favorite thing about Alston, because he was always very chipper in Tomb of Annihilation, which made me giggle every session. But at level 3...
Be the light. Be the light is really where I came from, where it was like, be a glorious beacon for all of those who live in despair. I was always trying to increase everyone else's like moods, trying to make them like happier, and I was trying to show them that I was like willing to go to the ends of the world to help them. Like, that's all I was trying to do.
But level 3, you get Ensnaring Strike and Speak with Animals. That's always prepared, not counting against you. And then your divinities are Nature's Wrath. You can use your channel divinity to invoke primeval forces to ensnare a foe. As an action, you cause spectral vines to spring up and reach for a creature within 10 feet of you that you can see. It must succeed on a dex or a strength save, its choice, or be restrained. While restrained, the creature repeats the saving throw at the end of its turns. On a success, it frees itself, and the vines, poof, turn to vanish. Or you can do Turn the Faithless. You use your channel divinity to utter ancient words that are painful for Fey or fiends to hear. As an action, you present your holy symbol and cause each Fey or fiend within 30 feet of you that you can hear make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature is turned for a minute, or it takes damage. We just went over that in the last one with Turn the Animal.
Same exact thing.
Same exact thing.
Just with Fey or fiend.
Just with Fey and fiend. But then we go into the cool paladin, which most people take because it's the easy
it's like
one.
The base. Yeah, it's the base one, basically. The one that everyone wants because it's easy to figure out. Like, I want revenge as a background.
Just to let you know, I'm waiting to roll my stealth check.
Okay. Oath of Vengeance is a solemn commitment to punish those who have committed a grievous sin. When evil forces slaughter helpless villagers, when an entire people turns against the will of the gods, when a thieves' guild grows too violent and powerful, when a dragon rampages through the countryside. At times like these, paladins arise and swear an oath of vengeance, set right which has gone wrong. These paladins, sometimes called avengers or dark knights, their own purity is not as important as delivering justice.
Batman.
So your tenet of justice is fight the greater evil. Faced with a choice of fighting my sworn foes or combating a lesser evil, I choose the greater evil. No mercy for the wicked.
Done.
Ordinary foes might win my mercy, but my sworn enemies do not. I was waiting for something. By any means necessary, my qualms can't get in the way of exterminating my foes. Restitution, if my foes wreak ruin on the world, it is because I failed to stop them. I must help those harmed by their misdeeds. At third level, you get one of Batman's favorite villains, Bane.
Yep. I hate you. You broke me. You son of a bitch.
But you get Bane as a spell, and you get Hunter's Mark, which is a ranger spell, which is pretty cool. And then your channel divinity. When you take this oath at third level, you gain abjure enemy. As an action, you present your holy symbol, and speak a prayer of denunciation using your channel divinity. Choose one creature within 60 feet of you that you can see. That creature must make a wisdom saving throw unless it is immune to being frightened. Fiends and undead have disadvantage on the saving throw. On a failed save, the creature is frightened for 1 minute or until they take any damage. While frightened, the creature's speed is 0 and they can't benefit any bonus to speed. On a successful save, the creature's speed is halved for 1 minute or until the creature takes any damage. Or you can use your Vow of Enmity. As a bonus action, you can utter a Vow of Enmity against a creature you can see within 10 feet of you, using your channel divinity. You gain advantage on attack rolls against the creature for 1 minute or until it drops to 0 hit points or falls unconscious.
Mean. So mean. Oh, hey, what level are we?
4.
Yep. It's time again. You get another ability score improvement or feat. Yep.
Yeah. And
I'll make it a stealth check because that conversation was so boring. To hell with it. I'll be back.
all right. At 5th level, you get an extra attack, and you get your first, 2nd level spells slots. You get 2 of them. You get your extra attack like a fighter. At 5th level, you can attack twice instead of once whenever you take the attack action on your turn. Gilded downloading Hockey for Xbox. Nice. At 6th level, you get Aura of Protection. Aura of Protection at 6th level. Whenever you or a friendly creature within 10 feet of you must make a saving throw, the creature gains a bonus to saving throws equal to your Charisma modifier. You must be conscious to grant this bonus. At 18th level, the range of this aura increases to 30 feet. So, if you have a protection paladin, staying close to your allies will help them as well with your protection aura, because you could use the disadvantage on the attack rolls with your protection reaction fighting style, plus your aura of protection will give them bonuses on their saving throws, which is pretty impressive. It helped our team out a lot. At 7th level, you get more Sacred Oath stuff. Right? Go back and look at the... Yep, you get Sacred Oath. At 5th level, you get Lesser Restoration and Zone of Truth for devotion spells. And at 7th level, you get Aura of Devotion. At 7th level, you and friendly creatures within 10 feet of you can't be charmed while you are conscious. So you get protection, and then you get your devotion. The Oath of the Ancients at 5th level gets Misty Step and Moonbeam for spells prepared. And they get an Aura of Warding. Ancient magic lies so heavily upon you that it informs an Eldritch Ward. You and friendly creatures within 10 feet of you have resistance to damage from spells. So any damage from any spells that you take within 10 feet of the Paladin are halved. Which is awesome. That's a 7th level Aura of Warding for your Ancient. And your 5th level spells for your Vengeance Paladin. You get Hold Person and Misty Step. And then at 7th level, you get Relentless Avenger. Your supernatural focus helps you close off if foes retreat. When you hit a creature with an opportunity attack, you can move up to half your speed immediately after that attack. And as part of the same reaction, this movement doesn't provoke opportunity attack. So you can hit people with your reaction and then go after someone else if you've downed them or whatever. That's pretty dope. At 8th level, we all know what that is. 8th level is a ability score increase or a feat if you have a cool DM. At 9th level, you don't get any features, but you do get an increase in spell slots, and you have 3rd level spell slots at this point. I'm pretty sure you get 9th level, okay. And then at 9th level, you get the spells for your devotion as well. For your oath. Oath of Devotion gets Beacon of Hope and Dispel Magic. Oath of Ancients gets Plant Growth and Protection from Energy. And Vengeance gets Haste and Protection from Energy. Haste, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Haste is dope. All right, at 10th level, you get Aura of Courage. Aura of Courage. You and friendly creatures within 10 feet of you can't be frightened while you are conscious. That'd be helpful against the dragon. But then they breathe their fire on you and everyone's right in the same spot. That's maybe not. Maybe not. Who knows? Good for like surprises and that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. You probably don't. I mean, you don't want to really stand too close to your team when there's a dragon. Who gets frightened at a wee dragon, anyways? Well, on a wee dragon, they might be little wee dragons. Wee dragons. Oh, wee dragons. We need those. I wish it was a weed dragon. At 11th level, you get an improved Divine Smite. So, improved Divine Smite. At 11th level, you are so suffused with righteous might that all your melee weapon strikes carry divine power with them. Whenever you hit a creature with a melee weapon, the creature takes an extra 1d8 radiant damage. If you also use your Divine Smite with an attack, you add this damage to the extra damage of your Divine Smite. So you do an extra 1d8 radiant damage no matter what at 11th level. Improved Divine Smite.
That's where we're at. Hot damn, you covered a lot.
Well, you don't get anything at 9th level other than spells.
Yeah, it's been really just spells. Oh, I timed it perfectly. Guess what we're back for? 12th level.
Yeah, tell them about
it. Sweet. You get the things that I thought I missed out on the first conversation, but here I am again talking about them for 6 weeks, and I've only got a few more to go. Ability score improvement and some feats. All the feats. Yeah, feats.
At 13th level, you get spells from your oath. At your devotion spells, you get Freedom of Movement and Guardian of Faith. Your Ancient, Oath of Ancients, you get Ice Storm and Stone Skin. And your Oath of Vengeance, you get Banishment and Dimension Door.
Fuck yes, Dimension Door.
Give me 14th level. Tell me about it.
That's Cleansing Touch. Beginning at 14th level, you can use your action to end one spell on yourself or one willing creature that you touch. That's kind of dope. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your charisma modifier, a minimum of once. You regain expended uses of this when you finish a long rest. That's all you get from the base Paladin. Wow.
Yep.
Okay. Well.
15th level,
we get stuff at 15th level.
Oath feature. Tell them about it.
Oh, we're going. Oh, sweet. For the devotion, we are going to get the purity of spirit. At 15th level, we are always under the effect of a protection from evil and good spell. Did I get to there? Have we talked about that spell? Let's talk about that spell for a second, because if I always have that on me, what does it do? It does things. That's Prismatic Wall. That'd be cool to have on you. That'd be dope. Produce flame. Purify protection from evil and good. Touch protection against certain types of creatures, aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. Creatures of those types have disadvantage on attack rolls against us. We can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them. If we're already charmed, frightened, or possessed by such a creature, the target has advantage on any new saving throw against the relevant effect.
That's amazing.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. Oath of the Ancients, you get Undying Sentinel. When you are reduced to 0 hit points you are not killed outright, you can choose to drop to 1 hit point instead. Once you use this ability, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. Additionally, you suffered none of the drawbacks of old age, and you can't be aged magically.
Hi, Wing. We're both looking real cute. We got D&D. We got matching D. Well, we got the memo. Wear our D&D shirts. Run D&D like DMC, and he's got making magic with Gandpool or Dead Dolph. Dead Dolph sounds actually a lot cooler than Dead
Wizard Pool.
Wizard Pool. Like a needle, my friend. We're at Vengeance Paladins. At 15th level, we get things that I didn't read about until just now. Soul of Vengeance. Starting at 15th level, the authority with which you speak your vow of enmity gives you greater power over your foe. When a creature under the effect of your vow of enmity makes an attack, you can use your reaction to make a melee weapon attack against that creature if it's within range. Cool! I get an extra hit with my reaction. I love it. 16th level, we get things. We get more things.
16th level. Ability score improvement or a feat if you're cool.
And then we get nothing at 17th. And
But
then
you
our
get
aura
spells.
improves.
You get spells at 17th.
Spells.
Devotion spells are Commune and Flame Strike. Ancient spells are Commune with Nature and Tree Stride. And Vengeance spells
Are amazing.
are Hold Monster and Scrying. Do you know Drake? I do.
I want to be famous.
No. Why Thunder? Why what?
18th level, our aura improves, and now it's 30 feet, which is dirty. 19th level, we are saying this for the last time for a while. You get an ability score improvement or a feat.
If you're cool.
Yep. And then to round out your paladin, your oath gives you a cool thing.
That's cool. I think it's the first time that your 20th level is your subclass.
Subclass, yeah.
Want me to go? Holy Nimbus.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your devotion is Holy Nimbus. At 20th level, as an action, you can emanate an aura of sunlight for 1 minute. Bright light shines from you in a 30-foot radius, and dim light shines 30 feet beyond that. Whenever an enemy creature starts its turn in the bright light, the creature takes 10 radiant damage. In addition, for the duration, you have advantage on saving throws against spells cast by fiends or undead. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest.
They got. All right, Ancients. We are now an Elder Champion. At 20th level, you can assume the form of an ancient force of nature, taking on an appearance you choose. For example, your skin might turn green or take on a bark-like texture. Your hair might become leafy or mossy. I would probably pick mossy. That'd be kind of cool. Or you might sprout antlers or a lion-like mane. Using your action, you undergo a transformation. For the next minute, you gain the following benefits. At the start of each of your turn, you regain 10 HP. Neat. Whenever you cast a paladin spell that has a casting time of 1 action, you can cast it using a bonus action instead. Dirty. Enemy creatures within 10 feet of you have disadvantage on saving throws against your paladin spells and channel divinity options. Cool. You can only use it once per long rest. Neat. That's neat. That's a really cool neat.
Oath of Vengeance to round out the paladin and finish our classes.
Batman.
You can assume the form of an angelic avenger. Using your action, you undergo a transformation. For 1 hour, you gain the following benefits. Wings sprout from your back and grant you a flying speed of 60 feet. You emanate an aura of menace in a 30-foot radius. The first time any enemy creature enters the aura or starts a turn there during a battle, creature must succeed a wisdom saving throw or become frightened of you for 1 minute, or until it takes any damage. Attack rolls against this frightened creature have advantage. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again for a long rest.
Fucking right. BDE, Batman. Yes. Batman.
Yes.
You turn into Batman.
You had me solid at wings. Solid sold.
That's it.
Same thing. Yeah. We finished classes of the PHP.
We did it. Woo! Classes are done. 6 weeks of them.
We did 6 weeks in a row of classes, in-depth classes. Let's talk about a little bit of what we did with our classes when we played them.
So yeah, as I've said throughout the course of these, I really haven't played many Paladins. I started to play one for the Avernus game that never went anywheres. But I started to play a rogue and I realized they can do a lot of damage, and I never got any far with that. But I did play a little gnomish trickster rogue for a brief minute, and that was a bunch of fun because I would just mess with people and then hide and just be invisible because that's what I would do.
We need an exclamation ban command that just like pretends to ban someone, because Fuzzrab needs a fake ban for that question.
Oh, Fuzzrab, if you don't know what you get at level 19, I'm pretty sure we can timestamp all of the class videos so we can get that could be one cut. We could just do one
cut all of us saying feat or ability score increase.
It starts off so peppy, and then
I'm gonna have to go back and watch every video.
But no, classes are a bunch of fun. You've played a paladin. You played my favorite paladin I've ever DM for.
I had a blast. I played not a Vengeance, a Oath of the Ancients paladin, but we only got to, I think, level 9.
You got to a level 11. I went 11.
It was a little. I remember it being a lower. It wasn't like full on level, but I played him as righteous as I could, but also tried to keep the whole like light attitude of being a gnome / ancients, because they wanted to like preserve the light in people and places. So like instead of worrying about like the actual people themselves, he worried about his friends and the people that could bring light to the other people. So it wasn't like he was a vengeance or a devotion where he was like only out to like do the specific thing. He was more of a broad, like earth and nature, and then people overall.
I watched being the catalyst for the fire that was a paladin becoming an oathbreaker. That was pretty cool. That's always a neat moment to watch a paladin break their oath. As a DM or a player, it's something that you don't see happen often. I was the catalyst for it once, being creepy. That was kind of neat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope everyone's learned a lot from classes. Hooray.
And it stinks because we read like a lot of it was just PHB reading, but you need to have those mechanics to kind of really to have your character sheet put together correctly. If you don't have those mechanics, you're not going to have the correct stuff on your character sheet. So it's kind of a drawn out reading of the PHB, but I'm hoping that with us talking about the past experiences that we've had, you playing the character or DMing against the character, or just the little like tidbits that we add on to each feature that you get as a paladin or druid or whatever, helps kind of make it easy for new players to grasp the
good thing is
the stuff.
The good thing is too, by listening to these episodes, I mean you'll have a basic grasp on, I would say, at least 1 to 3 for most characters, which is kind of that's when the character becomes yours. I've always said that. Once
between 3 and 5 is really like those times when you're like, okay, I can really see my backstory working with this character now, or I want to add to my backstory and kind of put in why I've decided to go this way, or yeah, I hear you. And a lot of the stuff is different from first to third for each class. So you kind of, once you get to 3rd, 4th, 5th level, you kind of see how those classes kind of go.
I'm sorry. Once you get to 4th level, you see how all the classes
have the same thing.
Yep. God damn it. But yeah, casters work like once you like learn how to play a spellcaster. Spellcasting won't be in what's D&D players and friends. D&D is the game of imagination. Shadow Cobra 207. It's
You
a
might-
lovely,
you-
lovely game.
I think he forgot the up in there.
Oh, probably. So what's D&D players up? I'm not sure.
What's up,
I'm
D&D
sorry, I'm
players
thinking
and
of
friends? Yeah.
We are well. How are you, Shadow Cobra? Thanks for tuning in. We just finished talking about classes.
We're on
But
our
yeah.
outro, kind of. Not really, but we just we know it got kind of monotonous
Wordy.
after 6 weeks in a row of us doing the same thing over and over, saying the same thing at 4th, 8th, 12th, 16th, 19th level.
16th, 19th, yeah.
You can kind of get lost in the shuffle of that. So I just don't want the listeners and anyone else that watches this on YouTube or whatever, just know that we want to help you. So if you have any questions, please comment or send us something on Twitter. We'll love to go more in depth into things. So
Yes, Fuzzrab. Level 19, 4, 8, 12, 19.
level
depending on
4.
what class
Level 4
Yep.
is our favorite
4
one.
is our favorite
19,
level.
19. If we get to 19, I'd be fucking happy as a player if I made it to level 19. I don't care. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I'd be excited to say ability score increase or a feat at level 19 if I had a campaign make it there. That'd be great. It's just
Oh, it's mango and delicious.
that's a long campaign. I just want people to know that we're not going to be doing directly just book stuff all the time. That's all. That's all.
Yeah, book stuff. That's the thing about D&D. If you have an idea, pitch it to your DM, and you and your DM can tailor something to your that's make it yours. That's D&D.
Yeah, and if you have questions, don't be afraid to ask us. That's all.
Yeah, please do. I love questions.
So
you probably won't. You get a long-worded answer, but you'll get one.
Let's do some outro plugs real quick. Warzone Wednesday is tomorrow.
Call of Duty stuff with Beardo, the Magnificent over there.
I'm really bad, but I play with Dysfunctional Dad, Distillitian, and Vandal, all part of the Dysfunctional Gaming team, so come check us out.
3 of the 4 are kind of bad. You should guess which one is it.
I'm glad you said it. I didn't want to call any of my teammates out, because I'm not like that, except when we're on stream together. Because I say it to their faces.
I know what
I say it right to their faces. What's the highest level one of your characters have ever reached, both of you? I gave Patch and his team level 20 characters for a backstory type thing. But I reached, I think, what was it, 17th level in your campaign? And then but we were like godlike before that. So you had given us so much stuff throughout the game that it felt like we were level 20. I didn't get the benefits of level 20 stuff, but it felt like I was level 20.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, what level did we get to with Tiamat? Because I think that's the highest I've ever been.
17.
Yeah, so
because I had given you all of those extra bonuses and all, like you had the avatar of the druid in you, and you had the ranger, like you had all that stuff going on. Palionix was just a beast in general, like.
But yeah, Shadow Cobra, if you've never played D&D before, Thundercat would certainly recommend checking out Adventure Zone. That's a very good D&D podcast. If you want to watch something on the YouTubes, I would recommend for story-based stuff, Critical Role. If you want to see a DM get walked all over, you can go check out Acquisitions Incorporated. That's probably one of my favorite ones.
The guy works for Dungeons and Dragons.
Perkins, yeah, is great. But no, he's the DMs who's like, okay, sure.
If you like Will Wheaton,
yeah, if you like Will Wheaton,
Acquisitions Inc.
Jerry Holt, they're all great in that. Let's be real. But yeah, certainly check it out. If you ever want to play D&D, find some people who are like-minded and play some D&D. I would always recommend finding a seasoned DM or someone who's at least
ask questions. If you're new, it's the only way you're going to learn. And
Bingo.
It's tough. It's very overwhelming at the beginning, but just try to stick to asking questions and being available
Open mind.
and
Available
listening
and open-minded.
and listening to the party as they talk and whatnot. Thursday night. What did we do on Thursday night?
Mm-hmm. Sometimes we do console night, depending on babies. Yes, that's what we do.
Cool.
Then you guys do stuff other than that sometimes?
We might do
Thursdays?
something. We don't know.
Yeah, you
it is
never
late
know.
night camp. They might see us
Thursday's
on.
kind of a flip night. Either we do
Open
stuff or we
night.
don't.
Yeah, it's open night.
Yeah.
Friday night, we are definitely doing something. We don't know yet, but we are definitely doing something.
Yeah, something. I like something.
And then Saturday night is our team night where we try to play games as a team. DD comes in late, joins us with Duck Game. Yeah, Warhammer 40K is basically like D&D without the mind.
D&D on steroids.
Yeah, you just play the game in front of you on the with miniatures.
But it's an interesting game. I never got into it, but I can see the pull.
Yeah, it was pretty cool when I played it a couple times, but at the same time, super expensive to get into. Yeah, and then Sunday night we're off. Monday we come back with survival night. I think we're jumping into Raft one more episode. We just finished the storyline last night, but we just got all of our new things that we can build, so we're gonna go buy
DD just brought something up. Let's go rewind back to Thursday. You guys are going to be doing some zombie stuff with Disto on Thursdays?
I'm not. I don't have it.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So DD's going to be doing Zombo stuff with Thursdays. Zombo interviews. I don't know what they're doing, but check it out. It's on Thursdays.
No, Call of Duty.
That will post.
Black Ops Zombies, I think it is.
Neat.
Yeah, we're going to be back in Raft on Monday for one last stream of Raft Survival Night, and then we'll be moving to a new game, but we want to build our boat some more. And
what classes are we going over next week?
Not going over classes next week.
Wait,
next
what?
week
we're
gonna do a DM's week. We're gonna talk as a dungeon master, and we're gonna talk about different planes of existence.
Oh, different planes. I like planes. Yeah, planes. 747s and Cessna. No, not those planes. Like the Feywild.
Planes of existence. Yeah, Fey, astral plane.
Material.
The material plane. Well, we don't need to talk about that. That's the real thing. We don't know it.
Well, I mean, that's the tree. That's where you got to start.
Or what about the ethereal?
I don't want to go there.
What about the chaos realm?
Nope. How about hell?
What about hell? I was just gonna say that. Or
let's
just
go
a random level of hell. It doesn't even matter. You can pick which 9 of them, right?
One of the 9. All right.
All right. Moving on. We're gonna raid over to someone, but before, tell them about what you're doing.
Oh, hi, I'm GM Patch Nasty. I stream on my channel, twitch.tv/GM Patch Nasty. We finished classes, so guess what? PHBs are in my locker for next year. So when we come back to it, we got it there, and school's out for summer. The Randy raid today will be a precious little keepsake of mine from my good old friend Alice Cooper. It's on his Trash is the World album. It's a good one. It's called School's Out. All right, so are we ready?
I'm Thundercat. We'll see you next time. After you, Randy.
Okie dokie. Boo boo doo boo boo doo boo boo doo doo boo doo doo boo boo dee boo boo doo boo boo doo doo. Well, he got no choice. All the girls and boys making all that noise. 'Cause they found new toys. Well, we can't salute ya, can't find the flag. If that don't suit ya, that's a drag. School's out for summer. Boom, boom, boo doo doo doo. School's out forever. Boom, boom, ba doo doo doo. School's been blown to pieces. No more pencils. No more books. No ability score improvements or dirty looks. Okay, I'm all done. I'm Randy out of it. I want to eat my ice cream now. I feel the dirty looks.
All right, guys, throw the Randy raids in the chat. Thank you so much to Fuzzrab and TSO for the resubs. We love you guys, and thanks for everyone hanging out and talking in the chat. We'll see you guys next week. Love you. Bye.
Thanks for making the Randy raid popular.